Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my podcast, Dejah Brew. I'm your host, Dejah Olson. Grab a coffee or a tea or whatever you like to drink, and let's just sit down and chat. Okay, this week I want to talk about a phrase. That's what I think you would call it. Can't take it with you. Okay? Maybe you've heard this before, maybe you haven't, but I'm gonna enlighten you on it and tell you my thoughts with it. So, I'm pretty sure I've heard this phrase before, but my manager at Goodwill is where I work. I love her so much. She's the best person ever. But she always tells me, she's like, can't take it with you, because I don't know, I love the way she lives. Like, she's been working at Goodwill for like 16 years, and she's a manager, and she loves it. But she also has so much vacation time added up because it goes by how many hours you work a week, which is awesome. And she just loves to, I don't know, take some days off here and there and go on trips, or just little ones to like towns close to us, or she goes on like road trips to other places because that's what she prefers over flying. But when I tell her the things that I want to do, like, oh, I think I'm gonna go to Europe, or I'm kind of feeling like maybe I want to go to Colorado or whatever it is, and she's like, yeah, might as well, like, you can't take it with you, like your money, because when you die you literally can't take it with you. And I don't know, it's like her philosophy is, why not spend it? Like, she still has it. It's not like she's spending everything she has, but she's not hoarding it all for the future. Like, she's using whatever she wants to in the meantime. And I really like that. And then the last time that she told this to me is a few days ago. I bought a concert ticket to Doja Cat. It's not until December, and it's June right now, but it's kind of expensive, and I got it on pre-sale, but I was so excited about it. And it's floor seats, and I told her, and she was like, yeah, like, that's so amazing, like, I'm so happy for you. Concerts are so awesome. I've been to so many, and there's nothing like seeing it in person being sung to you. And she's like, can't take it with you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't know, I haven't always had this philosophy. I've just recently been putting into play, because back when I started making my money, when I was 15 and got a job, you can check those podcasts out if you want to. I've talked about all my jobs. But my first one was when I was 15, and from then on, I've just been working. And I'm 19 right now, so for 4 years, I've just been working. And my mom is a huge saver, and I live with my mom. So that was kind of the idea that was like ingrained into my brain from when I started working, was like, save for the future, for college and house and retirement and everything. And I was like, okay, mom. My dad is a spender, but I don't live with him very much. I don't see him very often, so I don't know, I'm used to my mom's way. And I was like, yeah, like, that's smart. So when I started driving, for sure, I don't know, everyone else that was in school, they would be buying fast food all the time because they had their car and they could go wherever they wanted. So they were always buying fast food or driving to malls and buying new clothes and online shopping because they have their own bank account and card and money now and everything. And I tried to avoid that like, in all ways possible, because I was kind of like, what's the point? I know that this food costs a lot of money. I could just eat my parents' food at home, even if we don't have a lot. Like, I could make something. There's always something to eat. And then clothes, I like to thrift my clothes, and I've just always done that. Like, back when I didn't have a job and didn't have a lot of money, I could still buy a lot of clothes if I went thrifting. So that's just what I've been used to. And then it changed a little bit when I I was 16, almost 17, and I got a boyfriend. And yeah, that changed a little bit, because you got the dates and the dinners and little trips and stuff like that. So that's when I started to spend a little more, but not a crazy amount. I was still saving a ton more than I was spending, but that's when I was kind of having a little shift because I'm like, good food is amazing. Like going out to a really good sushi restaurant because I love sushi, or just, I don't know, Panera Bread instead of Taco Bell sometimes. Like, I don't know, having a little bit better food. I don't know. I just love food so much. I like to spend my money on traveling and food because that's just what makes life enjoyable for me to spend my money on. But back then, I tried to just avoid that. I was like, no, like, I'm gonna spend as little money as possible. But then when I got, had the boyfriend, then started spending more, but saved a lot too. And now it all changed again when I broke up with my boyfriend because I was like, well, now's the time to live. And I know this might sound weird, and I broke up with him when I was like 18, so still have a lot of life left, but I'm like, I have so much like saved up money and this is awesome, so I'm gonna be smart with it. And I put some in investment and I made a Roth IRA, so that's like for retirement, but you don't have to wait till you're 62. You can take your money out in 5 years, and I think it's tax-free, I'm pretty sure, which is really nice when you take it out. But I still have to wait until I'm like 24 to take it out, but that's not bad. Better than 62. So I set some money aside for those. And then I was like, I still have a lot, and not a crazy amount, but I am continuously working. At my job at Goodwill, I have a set schedule, which is so nice because I work the same hours every week, the same amount of hours, and then I know I get paid bi-weekly, so I know like the price or the amount that I'll get on each paycheck, which is super nice. And it's just comforting that you have money coming in, because I don't know, I might not always have that if I decide to do a different occupation or something. But for now, I'm really enjoying, always having that set amount of money come in every other week. So I'm like, wow, like I'm still gonna keep getting paid. I'm like, why do I have all this sitting? Like, I could save even more, but I maxed out my Roth IRA for like how much I can put into it a year. And I'm like, well, what have I always wanted to do? So that's when I was like, wow, why not go to New York? So like I took my girlies, my best friends, on a little trip, and we went to New York for the weekend, and it was pretty expensive because it's New York, and flights and our Airbnb and food was all kind of pricey. But coming back from that was just, well, being there was incredible and amazing. It's like, wow, what would we be doing if we were just back home in Nebraska right now? Literally nothing. We're just sitting and like reading or watching TV. I don't know, just like being boring. But the fact that I decided that, like, why not use the money that I have? I still had more. I'm not spending what I don't have, but I'm just like, why not spend what I already have, some of what I already have saved, because I just love having new experiences and just trying new things and going new places, because that's what I've always wanted to do, is travel. Before I even like had my occupation figured out, like what I would want to do in the future, I was like, I just know I want to travel the world. All the 50 states in the US, every single continent in the world. And it was hard to do that with my ex because I had more money than them, and that's not trying to sound like, I'm not trying to sound conceited at all, but it's just like a fact. I just had a lot more, so I was kind of the bigger spender a little bit between the two of us, even though I didn't want to be. But also he couldn't afford to go to New York for the weekend or things like that, and I loved him, so I was like, that's okay. Hopefully one day I can travel. But we still went on like to Colorado on a road trip, Anyway, besides the point, now that I'm single and living my best life, I mean, still working almost every day, and I'm in college full time. But besides that, like with my free time, I just want to live and I want to plan vacations in the future and go to see new places because that's just what makes me happy and brings me life. And you can't take your money with you when you die. And honestly, this may not be everyone's opinion, but like I don't know if I want to have kids. And I feel like a lot of people, well, they save for retirement or they save for their kids and the kids' college and things like that. But I don't know if I want to have kids. And if I do decide to have them one day, then I have 18 years to save up for their college. You know, like I don't need to do that right now when I am 19 years old. I want to spend the money and go see whatever I want to see because I don't know if one day if I save all this money and I retire at, say, 65, am I gonna feel like doing all these fun things that I'm gonna do right now? Like skydiving or backpacking around Europe for a month. Am I really gonna want to do all that when I'm 65? No. And you know, what if you never know what's gonna happen to you? Like, we never know when we're gonna die. That sounds pretty morbid, but everyone knows that we die. And I believe that we have a next life, for sure. I believe there's at least something after this one. But again, no one knows for sure. So that's why I believe we just got to make the most out of this life that we can, because we don't know what comes next. And if we're not really living, then what's the point of this life? And I know, you know, traveling and eating good food are like my favorite things to do, and they might not be your favorite things to do, but I think it's a good idea to figure out what those things are and make sure you embrace them and spend the time or money and do those different things because you will not regret it. It's gonna be amazing and you're gonna enjoy it, so you cannot take it with you. Let's just live for today. Let's live for this moment and kind of worry about what comes next, of course, in the sense, but also just live a fulfilling life. And I think that's one of the most important things. And yeah, this was a little short episode today. It's kind of more of like I don't know, I just want to get this little message out to you about how you cannot take it with you. So live for the moment and live your best life possible because you don't know when it's going to end. You don't know what comes next. So make sure you live a life that is worth living and fulfilling to you and your desires and your passions, and it'll be amazing. And you've all got this. And I appreciate every one of you watching. Thank you so much for being here. Whether you're on the YouTube or watching me on the YouTube video or on Spotify, wherever else, I really appreciate all of you. And I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful week, and I will see you next Monday. Have a good day.